Finale. Smash.
Hello music lovers and welcome to another Kingsgate episode. Today for the first time in this YouTube channel we are going to take a look at the compressor. So here we have the Heritage Audio P-Lane Type 436 compressor. Yes, it's a Vari-mu tube compressor. So before I go on, I would just like to say that I don't get paid to do or say something, so I will just give you my honest reflections about this compressor. So if we start talking about the design of this compressor, as you can see we have this gray retro design look compressor. So it looks really great with this round V emitter and the knobs, and it's really great and solid. So I think the design is really great. It looks good and feels good. So if we talk price for this product, it's $799, which for me it's a great price. Consider its build quality and its audio quality. I think it's great. So if you have been looking for information about this product, maybe you have seen a video from the Sewell Studios and Josh. By the way, Josh, if you see this, thank you very much for your videos. They are great. So what Josh found out was that the signal in some cases can be a little bit weak to the input stage. So after Josh's video, then Peter from Heritage Audio also did a very great video explaining why the signal can be in some cases a little bit low. In this compressor there is a pad, a resistor that is called the R19 resistor. So what you basically can do is just to remove the resistor, and that is what's now more is called the Sewell mod, I think. So what I have done my own Kingsgate mod. It's an extension of the Sewell mod. What I have done, I have added a switch. So I didn't want to destroy the front if I mess up. So what I did, I have put this switch on the back side. So what I can do, I can have it in the original mode, or I can switch to the mod, and then I bypass the resistor. So I have got a lot of help from my friend Otto. So now you are going to see some clips and Otto will explain how we did this. So here we go.
So here we go, opening up the cover of the P-Lane 436. On the left we find the input stage. And here is the R19. Johan decided that he wanted to have the impedance switch on the back side for aesthetic reasons. But I think if this was my unit, I would put it on the front for a little bit more easy access. So if you want to do this mod, you can decide for yourself where you want to have the switch. Either on the front side or on the back side, as we do it here. Here we see the input stage again, now from the back side of the unit, and I am measuring the resistor to be around 80 ohms. The input stage is actually on a separate board and connected with these quick connectors, which make it really convenient for us when we do this mod. We also get a nice view here of the pretty hefty input transformer. Yep, here we have R19 again. This is the bad boy we're gonna do the modification on. To make things a little bit easier for myself, I mount the board to this helper. It is not necessary, but makes it a little more convenient to work on it. And then we identify the pins from R19 on the back side. they are a little bit bent, so I actually melted the joints and straightened them out before I turned the board around. Now we use the soldering iron to heat up the joint here. And you can pull on it a little bit, but don't use too much force. It will come out pretty easily once it's all melted. There we go. It's loose. Straighten it out a little bit, and it's time to connect the cables. I've used some microphone cables from a broken cable that I had laying around and just stripped it bare. You can use whatever you have, but it should be an isolated cable, of course, otherwise it's gonna be a mess inside and you will shortcut the components very easily. You can see here it's a little bit of solder work, but it's not too much. And here we connect the other cable to the joint where R19 is located. Unfortunately, Johan didn't get a good view there. Alright, and here's the back side. Just fill it in a little bit. There we go. Alright. Okay. Maybe a little bit more. I wasn't really pleased with that. Looks nice. Here we have the switch, and this is just a really inexpensive switch for a few dollars or euros, or in my case Swedish crowns. Nothing fancy at all. This is actually a two-way switch with A, B and off function, but we only gonna use the A and off. And some more soldering. This is all the soldering work you need to do. So if you think you can manage this, you can probably do the mod. Here we go a bit fancy with heat shrink tubing, but you can just use electrical tape instead. And now we do a measurement. From the pins, and it's measured 150 with the switch in off position, and now I put it on again and we are back to 81, 82, yeah. So the original value. And just install the board again with the Phillips screws and mounting the switch on the back side as Johan wished. Here is the finished high for the mod and low for the original.
Okay, so let's try to wrap up this episode. The Heritage Audio P-Lane 436 is a really great compressor. I like the design, I like the sound quality, I like the build quality, and I like the price. Probably you can buy 4 or 5 P-Lane for the price of one of these Retro Instruments compressor. So it's a good price, and if you want a clean compressor, this is perfect. So is there any drawbacks? Yes, I think I have 2 things that I don't like so much about this compressor, and one thing we have already talked about, and it's the input that are a little bit weak. So if Heritage Audio will do updates, maybe they should have a switch or a knob or something like, so you can change the a resistor, have it on or off or something like that. And the other drawback, at least for me, if you are in an environment that are a little bit dark or not so bright, so it can be a little bit hard to see the VU meter because there are no backlights for in this compressor. Heritage Audio, if you do update, put some lights in the VU meter and do a knob for the input signal. So that's all for this episode. In next episode I will give you some audio examples, so stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. See you later.